Let's go ahead and begin with our first speaker, Avery Williams, who is number 22, a defensive back on the football team, who adds depth at cornerback. A freshman from Washington, D.C., he attended Calvin Coolidge High and was a two-time All-DCIAA selection, two-time team MVP, and selected as one of Max Prep's top 10 football players who stand out in Washington, D.C. and Maryland. He collected 3 interceptions on defense as a senior, and the title of Avery's speech is Controlling Your Destiny.
I want to give a special thanks to my coach, David Lockwood, who's here to support me, and Miss Amy, who is my mentor, counselor, and all the above academic-wise. So I appreciate that. It has been said that we all are products of our environment. I think that is true to an extent. We can't change ourselves. We can't change others, but we can change ourselves most of the time. However, young people and students are often given this option. They aren't given the choice. That is why I want to impress upon you today that school environments affect students' performance and self-esteem. When I was in the 9th grade and lived in D.C., I attended Eleanor Roosevelt Senior High School in Greenbelt, Maryland, because the football coach was interested in me. I told my mother the school looked like something off of a movie. There was people outside eating the school lunch. The school was made of all glass, and it even had an ice skating rink inside for hockey. Had 2 football field, 2 practice fields, and a game field. I had never heard of some of the classes until I got there. In middle school, I was homeschooled by someone that my mother hired. She didn't want me to attend a public area school because of the negative influence. All I really knew was basic math, science, and English. All of a sudden, I was taking classes like geometry, algebra, and trigonometry. I was behind, but I didn't ask for help because I was scared. I was afraid that the teacher would think less of me. As a result, my grades were not good. I had to repeat classes and attend summer school. That was the best thing for me, I felt like. The counselor and my mother wanted me to move on, but I knew that this was the best thing for me. After 3 years, I was called into the principal's office after the 3rd game of the season. He told me that 7 coaches from 7 different schools were investigating me of living out of the boundaries of the school that I was attending. He told me that, and that I was being investigated by the athletic department, Although I had a place to stay in the area with family friends, I used to go back home to be with my mother because she was by herself at the time, and I was worried. As a result, I had to transfer to my home school in D.C. Unfortunately, Calvin Coolidge Senior High School is a lot different. The outside looked like an apartment complex. It was gated. Nobody was allowed to eat lunch outside. Nobody was to leave during the day. The inside housed abandoned classrooms and some broken windows. When I arrived at school in the morning, I had to remove all metal objects: belt, hat, jacket, things in my pocket, and put my book bag through a scanner. Fortunately, I was getting a lot of letters for entrance from different schools. The problem was that I haven't taken the SAT. I didn't even know what it was. No one ever discussed it with me, and I didn't take it until my senior year. I had to take it more than once, and it actually put me behind a year. One thing that I learned is that people are more important than your school environment. At the D.C. school, a teacher named Ms. Manning, who is married to Dominique Foxworth, who plays for the Baltimore Ravens, made, oh man, I'm sorry if I get emotional over here. Maybe it was because of her husband, Dominique Foxworth, who played for the Baltimore Ravens. She took an interest in me. If it weren't for her, I would still be trying to pass the SAT, maybe even trying to graduate from high school. I wish she had entered my life years earlier. My mom continues to be the biggest influential person in my life and my inspiration. She believed in me when others didn't. I can't remember a time my mother telling me I'm not capable of anything. In conclusion, you are who you are. You are not what surrounds you. If you are in a bad environment, find a way to get out of it, even if it takes a while. Remember that you control your destiny.